things that we're going to talk about today, we're going to talk about throwing. And age group that you guys coach is, what is it?
10 ball machine pitch, 10 and under probably.
Okay. All right. Now the thing that we're going to get to is we're going to talk about the importance of playing catch. Okay? Baseball's a game of catch. And your job is to be able to get these guys to play catch. Now, with T-ball, with, as they start moving up to being able just to throw a ball, the first thing, guys, is that I want you to be able to grip the baseball. Just grab the baseball. How should you hold the baseball? Okay? Now, I'm going to show you two things. Number one, you're right. Okay? Hold the baseball, you get across here, get across the seams. Okay? Now, here's the next thing. How big is your hand? Let's compare. Okay? Mine's a little bigger. Okay? Ooh, mine's a lot bigger. Oh, I gotta hang around with you more often. There we go. Okay, now, let me explain the reason why we do that. Okay, because baseball's only come in one size, right? As if you're playing football, you're gonna have a smaller football. If you're playing basketball, you got a smaller basketball. Baseball, one size fits all, right? Wrong. Okay, wrong. It would be great if you could play with a baseball that's like this size, a tennis ball. Okay, now, show that grip. Okay, it would make sense, but this is what we got. Okay, Trajan. Okay, now, what I'm going to tell you is with the little kids, their hands are too small. They can't do this, okay? Because the first thing that's going to happen is that they will put pressure somewhere in between those two fingers, and it'll cause their hand to turn as they throw. So the ball's going to fly all around. That's one amongst many reasons. So what we want to do is we say, older guys say, make fangs. Okay? So I say, make fangs. So you guys, make fangs. Okay, now, what I would have you do is do this, say, make a fork. Now this does two things. Number one, gives you more control. Number two, the most important thing, whenever you're pitching, ever throwing a baseball, most important thing is making sure your middle finger is over your thumb. Okay, and you have that grip. So, it naturally puts it there. Okay? So I would tell you, hey, when you get the ball, put it in a four-seam grip, make sure that middle finger is over your thumb, and from there, we're going to go. Okay? Now, next thing I'll have you guys do is that when you're going over with younger kids, with little kids, just think of how their age and how long you've got their attention. Okay? 1 minute per year is, with the little kids, that's kind of, maybe you want to go 30 seconds. Okay? So if you got 1 minute, so you got a 5-year-old, we got to switch entire activities every 5 minutes. We got to do something different because you start going to say, hey, kids, we're going to throw for 15 minutes. Minute 2, they're dinking around, okay? So we got to change activities. So when you're playing catch with kids, I'm going to show you some things that you can do. So I need all you guys, okay? And what we're going to do is I'm going to have you first, without the baseballs, I'm going to have you put the baseballs down. I'm going to show you a few positioning things, okay? So the very first thing is you want to make playing catch fun, okay? So some things you can do. So what we're going to do is I'm going to have you guys here in a square, okay? And all we have to do here is say, we've got one ball, and we're going to play catch. But there's going to be different ways to play catch. Obviously, we can throw overhand, we can throw underhand, we can flip, we can throw corner, but you can play catch using 4 people. Okay? Another way, and this is part of practice, change it up. Okay? Change it up. So, here, this one actually you need 5. So this one here, you want to burn off a little energy, it's a great activity. We're just going to do this, we're going to flip. Okay, I'm just going to flip the ball. But you can play catch with this one. I do this one with my guy. Every one of these drills we do for throwing, I do with my team. Okay? The reason I do all these drills with my team is because, once again, baseball's a game of catch. And I don't want these guys to know that we're going to throw for 30 to 40 minutes every day at practice. Okay? At the end of the day, they're going to go, man, I'm kind of tired. Good. Do you know how long we played catch? Oh, 15, 20. Double it. Really? Wow. We did? We were, they're sweating. That's the fun of it. So what you do is you play catch and you follow your throw. So we're going to flip, and I would run, I would throw, and follow. Okay? So what you're going to do is you're going to flip and follow the throw. Okay? And you just go back and forth. Okay? But realize, we're, because of space, but what we would do is we'd get into a full distance, I'd throw and follow. Throw and follow, throw and follow. So number one, what it does is it teaches guys how to follow your throw. Number two, it teaches you how to catch the ball and to move toward the ball. Now, it's like that's all great when you have guys who can play catch. You can still do it, okay? You just need to have a few people around to help you out. So, what it would look like then, have some parents stand behind. That ball goes by. Here you go. Okay, go get it. Okay, fire away. Okay, so if you missed, if somebody misses, okay, you just, so go ahead and just flip one over here. Oh, here you go. Say, always got some there, okay? Okay, hold the ball. I'll take that. So, you have to manage not only the kids playing catch, but where the ball's going to go. Okay? If you need to, once again, here's some things I like to do. This is one of my favorites. I am not a spokesman for smush ball, but I should, because I really like these things. Use them for batting practice. You can use them for throwing. You know what I like about these? That. That's what I like about them.
No, I use a baseball.
Yeah. You know what I like about it? No, I'm just kidding. It's like, but here, now we can play catch, and it's like, we don't have to worry about kids getting hurt. Tennis balls, same thing. If you want to get kids acclimated to receiving, get them, say, get tennis balls. It's okay. Getting credit balls. Some kids get a little afraid when this, I don't know, something about white scares some kids. Okay? And they see this, and you can have the softest and credit ball. They see something white with laces and go, oh my God, this thing's going to kill me. No, that's not going to be it. But you can have this. Okay? So, you can play catch using different types of balls as well. So just change it up. Okay? So we talked about how to play catch in a square, how to run and follow your throw. Okay? As I say, with younger kids, don't get stuck on, okay, I'm going to get you guys partnered up here, so I'm going to have, no, don't worry, I'll just move you around. Not to worry, I won't hit you hard today. Later on, maybe, but here you go. Here, okay? You guys are going to partner up. Okay, now if you go to a practice, if you're to come to one of our practices, or you'd see this quite often with older guys. Okay, start off with, okay, we're going to do our segmented throwing. So we're going to start off, we're going to get here, we're going to throw, we're going to do our wrist flips. We'll loosen up wrist, loosen up elbow, loosen up shoulder, and then we're going to extend out and throw. We're going to break it down, okay? Young kids, don't worry about it. I'm telling you, don't worry about it. Because you're going to lose those kids after the first one of these. Okay? So you can teach them the components. You say, how many of you can throw like this 5 times? And it's like, you're going to get, and that's as many as you're going to get. And it's like, because realize, they don't care, and besides that, how many, especially when you're coaching the T-ball kids, how many parents are dropping their kids because, gosh, you want to get them doing something. Okay? So you want to get them active. And this here, unfortunately, it's not real active. Okay? Is it important? Extremely. This is extremely important to know the importance of how that ball should come off a hand. How there are 4 levers. My fingers, my wrist, my elbow and my shoulder all work together. Okay, that is extremely important. I'm just going to tell you, if you're going to spend time with it, spend just a little. Show them. It might be, okay, we're going to do this. It'll look like this. Okay, let's see if you can do 5 throws. Can you do 5 throws? Now remember, you're 5. Okay, I'm going to pretend that you're all you guys are 5-year-olds. Okay, just that you are exceptionally skilled 5-year-olds, that you can actually catch the ball. Okay, you probably remember when you were 5? Remember that long ago? How long was it, like a year ago? No, a little less than that? Okay, now what I have you do is have you point your elbow at your partner, and I want you to flip the ball to him just by pretending that you're shooting a basketball. Can you do that? I want to see you guys do it 5 times. Okay? Now realize, if you had T-ballers, first graders, you'd have to have somebody standing behind because the ball's going to be flying around. Okay? This will take, the amount of time these guys have taken, okay, to throw these 5 times, that would be 1 or 2. Okay? Now, second thing we're going to do. Now we're going to loosen up elbows. So here, I want you to point at your partner right at the chest after you throw. So I'm going to go here, I'm going to go here and throw. Okay? Here we go. 5. Let's see if we can do 5. Okay? Now, realize, once again, when you're working with the younger kids, as you're trying to set it, you know, it's like, hey, let's make a deal. Can you get 2? Can you get 3? Can you get 5? As once they get there, because they're all excited about, can they get to that number? Okay? They don't, you know, you're kind of showing them another way to get success. Okay? Now you're after that. Next thing we're going to have you do is like, now we're going to have you point your elbow at your target. Okay, we're going to keep your feet here. You're going to keep your feet straddled and turn. And then throw. Okay, ready? Turn and throw. Okay. Now realize, now you guys are how old?
5.
You're 5. Okay. You'll say, oh, fine, you got it. Because remember, that was not a trick question. You're 5. Okay? Now, realize that your 5-year-olds, 6-year-olds, 7-year-olds are like this. But we are going to be able to show those mechanics and spend just a little bit of time on them. Okay? All right. Now, have you guys have a seat for a second. Questions about just that? But let's get started. Options, options, options. That's going to be the key when it comes with younger kids. As like, there are different ways to play catch. As like, playing catch is the most important thing. So the next thing we're going to get to is after we've gone through the basics of throwing, now we want to make sure that kids are holding the ball the right way. So what I want you guys to do is I want you to take the baseball, I want you to hold it up. Just hold it up with your elbow bent. Okay? Now, what you're going to see, most of the time, you're going to see kids who are going to hold the ball different ways. We want to make sure when a kid pulls that ball out of their glove that they point it back. They just have to be able to point it backwards just a little bit. Okay? So, you're going to spend a lot of time with kids. Another thing, when you're working with younger kids, spend a lot of time moving their hands around. Okay? You might need to have them play catch like such. Your first name is? Cody, come on up. You might have to play catch and say, so Cody is standing here and you might have to, as he pulls that ball out, and he's going to throw, trying to throw, I might get here and have to move him around. Okay? Kids get this. The little kids get this. Okay? They need to know what it feels like. And if they don't know what it feels like, they don't know how to do it. Okay? Because children will learn by visualization. They will see, and then they try to pretend to do the same. So they're going to try to imitate. So get them in the position, and then from there, it's like fire away, turn and throw. Okay? All right, now, as we go through, realize that kids, go ahead and have a seat. Kids learn throwing in 5 stages. Okay? So, your name's? Ben. Ben, you and I are going to play catch. Okay? With a tennis ball. You're going to throw it back to me, and I'm going to go through the 5 stages of throwing and the importance of this. And you will see these stages when playing catch. Here's stage 1. Most of you should be by this. If you do have someone who's at stage 1 of throwing, this is a kid who doesn't quite know how to wear a glove. Okay? They really don't have much, they don't know if they should be left-handed or right-handed. You might have someone there. Okay? You might have someone who comes out and they're like, you know, they just get the ball and they just go ahead and throw it back. And I mean, just like, so they will throw, but the ball's going to go anywhere. They could go behind them, okay? So, stage 1 of throwing is, number 1, kids don't know what dominant hand they have yet. You will have some kids who don't know if they're right-handed or left-handed yet. Okay, you may have a kid who's wearing that glove on this hand, and it should be on this one. Okay? Real quick story, I had a kid when I was coaching, when I was finishing up my degree at St. Thomas. I had this kid that I was coaching a 6th grade team at a parochial school, and there's a kid, and he had a developmental delay, and he'd come up and throw, and it was like, that was his throwing. So I'm going to teach this kid how to throw. So we worked him, got him, so he could play second base. He could get it, and he could step, and everything was very methodical, turn and throw. One day we're at practice, and the ball's hit by him. He runs out, drops his glove, runs out, picks the ball up left-handed from left field. Wow. Throws it to me on the mound. And all the kids, remember, because this is the vivid part, I remember all the kids like, Jason's left-handed. Jason, they were just surprised. Look, Jason's left-handed. So, told his mom, Mom, I need to buy a new glove for Jason. Needs a left-handed glove. Okay. Bought a beautiful glove that fits on his left hand. So I had to describe that a left-handed glove fits on the right hand. Right-handed glove fits on the left hand. That's why we park in a driveway and drive in a parkway. So stage 1 of throwing. Ball goes anywhere. Stage 2 is ball will go forward, but it's going to go up, down, here, there, everywhere. Okay? You'll get this. You'll get this. Okay? The ball can come fast. It comes slow. You're going to have some kids who do not know depth perception yet. Okay? So stage 1, they don't know what hand to use. Stage 2, they don't know how hard to throw. This is the kid where when most of your kids came up when they were little, and this is the time that they would run up to you really fast, and they pull that ball up, and you're just like, oh, you know, like, please don't. You know, and they throw it hard at you, or it'd be like just a nice, easy. So stage 2 is that depth perception. You're gonna have a kid on your team who doesn't know how hard they should throw. Stage 3 is this. This is the same leg, same arm guy. Okay? What we've traditionally referred to as this is the kid who throws like a girl. Okay? All right. Oh, sorry. I'll dial it back a little bit for you. Here you go. Yeah. So, the reason I point this out is like this is a kid who's learning a little bit about control, has no confidence in where they can throw it. It's like, because we all play, if you play darts, this is how you play darts, right? So, a kid is learning how to be accurate that way. They're not going to throw it very far, but they're learning how to be accurate, okay? That's stage 3. At stage 3, that's when learning naturally stops, okay? Now, stage 4. Now, the only difference between stage 3 and stage 4 is feet are turned around. Okay? Now, you will have lots in this stage. Okay, lots of kids here. You're going to have some kids here. You're going to have lots of them here. Okay, but that's their stage. That's where they're at. Okay. The other thing that you'll have when you get to those younger kids is the confidence in receiving the ball. Okay, so we'll get into that in just a little bit. But when I get into here, I can throw a little bit harder. Okay, this is a kid who's going to be very skilled. They get here, they can throw it a little bit harder. Stage 5, now it involves moving. So stage 5 is step, turn, move my feet, turn and throw. You will likely not have anyone at that age, okay? Unless they just happen to be a budding major league player. All of a sudden Joe Mauer just moved into your house and he's 5, okay? But even that, most kids are not going to be at that stage where they're going to be able to move their feet, they're going to rotate their waist, turn and throw. The reason I bring that up is because you cannot skip a stage. Okay, you have to go step for step. So if you have that kid who doesn't know which hand they should be throwing with, try one hand. Okay, try one hand and they both feet down in here. And I might be playing catch like this for a long time. Okay, or I might be playing catch like that for a long time. Okay, just move it up one step. Okay, if you can move them up the baseline. If they're a 2, make them a 3. If they're a 5, let's make them a 6. Okay? And a lot of times when I'm working with young youth coaches, when it comes to throwing mechanics, they want to go from a 1 to a 6. It'll get there. It might go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. But let's go 1 to 2. Okay? Does that make sense? You guys have any questions about the stages of throwing? About how to teach that next step.
I guess I've got just, I don't know if it's, but the kids, what you see a lot at this age, I coached at 11, 15 years, is the throwing motion isn't as natural as it could be when they're pitching. They try and aim and then you know it's over. So that would be somewhere in this stage 4.
Yes, yep.
Okay.
Yeah, stage 4 is now they're getting here, and they get into
back into 3 or, but yeah.
Yeah, let's say stage
regress.
4. The stage 4 kid is going to be he's going to step forward. There's not going to be a lot of hip movement, and you're going to see variances in kids who are loose. They turn, there's not a lot of hip movement, so they're going to turn, step, throw as such, or the kid who short arms. Okay, so you're going to see. Okay, Ben's right. Yep. Okay, Ben, I'll move back a little bit. So you might see some guys who are like that, kind of loose with this arm. And you're going to find some who are going to go like this. Okay, now the less movement here is going to do 2 things. One, there's going to be less movement here, or in other words, it's shorter. It's going to not come out as fast. The other thing is going to be more inconsistent. Okay, they just don't trust themselves. So they get in here and they start pushing. So as they start to push, they're trying to be accurate with a little bit of power behind it. Now, the things to do with those kids is try to get them and to extend them. So to extend them is doing things like such. As you give them things to point to or touch. So, can you take the ball for a second, Ben? Okay, now, let's say Ben is our close arm angle guy. Okay, fancy word for short arm.
He's been known as short arm.
Okay, so what I'm going to have you do, Ben, is you're going to take the ball out of your glove and you're going to touch my hand and then my glove. Okay, ready? Touch, no step, touch, touch, throw. Okay, and it doesn't have to be much more than that. Okay, 2 touched, boom, throw. Okay, that's one. There is another one you can do too, and this is one where you have kids throw on their knee. And this is one. This one I like is real simple. Say, Ben, have you ever strike a match? You ever let a match? No. You guys
I'll leave the room and then you can ask me again.
You play with catch?
I think once.
You play with, so you like to play with fire is what you're saying? Okay, now, good answer, way to go. Okay, now, here's what you can do, is like, pretend this is a match. Okay, so I'm gonna strike the match on the ground. Sorry, by my side. So I take the ball out of my glove, strike the match, but I gotta keep the fire away from me. This is on fire. Gotta keep the fire away from me. Okay, so I strike the match, keep the fire away, throw it away. So if Ben and I are doing this, it'll look like this. So I go here, I take it, I pick the ball up, I put the ball on the ground. If you want to increase that arm movement, because the more you keep it here, the closer it can be. Put the ball on the ground, and then throw. Okay? If you want to increase arm movement, take the ball, put it on the ground. Okay? So we're here, scoop, throw. Well, there you go. Okay, here, and just keep going back and forth. There. So, playing catch up, on a knee. Another way you can do it as well is we'll straddle, once again, put the ball on the ground. So I'm here, and I just start like this. Throw. Pick the ball off the ground. We got to sweep it back. There you go. Good job, then. Good work. Okay? So those are some ways, once again, but as you do these drills, let's go all the way back to the beginning. When you do these drills, change them up. It's like, do this drill in 4 corners. Do that drill on their knees. Okay? Do that drill where they have to pick it up, throw it, and follow. It's like, have them play catch at a long distance. Okay? Another one, you want to have fun with this one, you can go ahead and have a seat then. One thing you can do too, because kids love to be able to, you can get them out and throwing the ball, is have them play catch behind the backstop. Or try to find it, backstop and see if they can throw it over the backstop. Okay? So as they throw it over the backstop, have them throw it to you. They can throw it to each other, but a lot of times they'll get nervous and get scared about the ball coming down to them. So, but have them throw it over the backstop. See if they can hit a target. See if they can throw it into a garbage can. Okay? If that's too high, just over the side of a fence. Just to create, and what it's doing is creating an arc. Creating distance. You've just taught those kids how to long toss. Okay? There's nothing better than getting kids to go out there and just take a ball and just... When my son was a T-baller, the thing we used to do is I used to give him a ball, just like throw it as far as you can. And you get it and throw it. And you pick it up and throw it. Now, here's the beauty of working with 5-year-olds. Run after it. Runs after it, picks it up, throw it over there. He throws it as far as he can. Okay, see how fast you can run after that one. Runs after it, throw it back to me. So he's throwing, and he's running, he's come back, he's all laughing. Good. We got you tuckered out because he's a little ADD. That's all right. Okay, number 1. Number 2, we just taught him how to long toss. Okay, so we want to get kids to be able to throw long, throw often. Okay, obviously throw correctly. But the key in practice is getting those kids to move, do different activities, to throw a lot. Okay? Now, let me go through the stages of catching really quick, and that'll explain a little bit when it comes to playing catch as well. When playing catch, now you can think as when your kids were little, or even now, when you play catch with them, the very first thing, here's stage 1. Okay, you throw the ball, it'll stick in their arm, right? So, here you go ahead. Your name is? Jake, here, you're going to throw my glove to me, Jake. And this is how a stage 1 kid receives a glove, Jake. Good job. Okay, you should say, way to go, Dave. Good catch. There, so that's what we did as parents. Go, Jake, here you go, here you go. Hey, good job. You got a boy, and everybody cheers. Way to go, nice grab. Okay, now if you throw it a little too hard, go ahead and throw that a little bit harder. I still might get, or I might get hit in the face with it. Pow! Oh, that happens. Okay? That's stage one. Stage two now is when I catch with my arms. Probably not going to have those kids playing catch like this. Okay? They're going to be afraid. So they're not going to do this, they're just going to do this. Because they know baseball's hurt. They said they will cower. Okay? That's all right. What do you do if you got a kid who cowers? Bigger, softer balls. Just get them used to seeing it, catching it. That's one. Okay? And just bring it down to the size. Okay? Softy balls, anything that you can just keep seeing it. That's all they need. Keep seeing it. Build the confidence. Stage three is now they're starting to use their glove. They will just use their glove, and you'll see a lot of this. Okay? So, if we're playing catch, your name is? Rowan. Here you go. Rowan, I want you to throw the ball to me. Okay? I might catch it there. Throw it down there again. Okay? I might catch the ball going down. Try to throw it above my waist a little bit. Try to throw it up. There. That's a stage three receiver. Okay? So the glove is always going up or it's always going down. Okay? So it's one direction like this with the glove. Okay? So, what do you do with those kids? The key with those kids is teach them how to catch a ball with two hands. One thing that works really well is teach them how to play catch with a football. Or teach them to play catch with a basketball. Take the glove off, throw them a basketball. They start moving their hands. And as they start moving their hands, put the glove back on. Okay? We're going to have you catch the ball with two hands. Now, what will usually happen, okay, is you'll get a kid to, okay, they'll catch like this. Okay, everything will be with two hands, like it would be catching a football. So just keep in mind, it's not a perfect science with this, but it does get them to use their hands, and that way they can start turning their hand over. The fourth stage, and this is where you're going to have kids that are going to be stuck between stage three and stage four. Stage four is everything is rigid. Everything stays away from them. So if I throw this, if you go wrong, throw it out to me. I go out and reach and go get it. Oh, one thing I forgot. Oh, I forgot one part of stage three. One thing that's very important. Stage three also does this. If the ball's coming at them, a little nervous with it, they'll turn. Okay? Let them turn. They do not see the ball as well. It's a depth perception thing again. So when you throw a ball to them, if they turn, tell them to turn. Watch the ball into their glove. Okay, here, I'll let you. Okay, go ahead and throw your tennis ball. So I'm here. Let them, because just let them watch the ball into the glove. That's a very key part, stage three. Okay, stage four, they reach out and catch the ball. And the ball just kind of bounces out. They're real rigid with their hands. Usually we'll catch the ball with one hand and get it away from them. Stage five is when they start to give, and you start to see the hand turn. Usually we'll not see kids at T-ball at first grade, second grade, catching a ball. Oh, here we go. So I'm going to have you throw it back to me. You're not going to see too many kids that are going to go. They're going to pull it and twist it and turn and, frame it. They're just not going to do that yet. But that's the last stage. They get it and receive it and turn it and give it the ball. Okay? Questions about that? Just the skill of playing catch. Hey guys, is this helping you at all? Is this?
Oh yeah.
Is this? I was hoping that this could be a little more banter. But
Hey, I asked a question.
I'm glad you did.
Yeah, well, for the stage four there, we have a lot of like second grade, third grade, and that's where they're at for me.
Yeah,
Is that they're reaching, so it's just more repetition and more reps, and
Yes.
naturally it'll start turning and framing.
Yes. Yep.
So
Exactly.
Just keep doing more and more drills, so it's just a natural thing. It's not that they're doing anything wrong, it's just they haven't got there yet.
They're just not there, yep. So in baseball, it's totally on reps. So try to put them in as many situations as you can so they can get those reps. So that way, when you start them off, let's say you might have a practice and you get nothing but different catch stations. It's 5 minutes here, 5 minutes there, switch it up, do different activities. But in essence, it's throw and it's catch. And have some kids hit a ball, hit off a tee, and great opportunity. Anything you can do that involves catching a ball and throwing a ball. Absolutely anything. Guys, we're going to take batting practice. Great. I was like, that gives me an opportunity to catch the ball and throw the ball. So we want to make sure that kids are not just catching the ball and make sure they're catching and throwing as much as possible. If it involves having, we take batting practice with younger kids, I'm a big fan of having lots of stations. I like to use tees, so I might use, one station is a soft toss, another kid's a tee, another kid's a front toss. I should say my soft toss, everything I do when it comes to soft toss is all from the front anyway. Have a screen or pitch from the side. I don't like to go here because baseball, when you play a baseball game, I have yet to see a league where the ball comes from here. We have a T-ball league, but we don't have a soft toss league. Okay, so it's just a personal opinion. I don't like going like this. So, the ball comes from here. Now, I'll stand with the screen in front. I'll flip balls all day.
But it's safer, you don't have a net all the time. So.
True. Because then the other thing, here's the other part that I'll do. So, you come on up. This time you don't need your ball. I'm going to show you. Just go ahead and get your batting stance. Just have you stand here when it comes to, right here. Just do a little quick hitting thing. Okay, when I do soft toss, I'm right here. And guess who this freaks out?
You?
Every kid.
Oh, yeah.
This freaks out every kid. I'm going to hit you. No, you're not. Okay? And all I'm going to do is I'm going to get here and I'm going to toss it up and then I'm going to drop my hand out of the way. Now, the reason I do this, I turn and I get my hand out of the way, is because I used to do it like this. I just toss it and flip it up. And I had a kid who smoked my hand once. Missed the ball by 8 inches. Just like I had to try to get my hand. Go ahead and have a seat. That one, and then another one I like, and I'll get back to throwing and receiving. Go to the dollar store. You always got a tee on you. Okay? So, go to the dollar store, pick up a lanyard. There you go. I just take the ball, put it in here. Just put it wherever I want, kid, hit it out of there. Now, make sure you don't wrap this around your finger. I've done this one too. That one really hurts. Okay, this one didn't break my hand when I tossed it. The one with the finger did. So, that one stung. Okay, let's get back to throwing and catching. Now, when we're playing catch, as I want to have as many game type throws as you can. So another thing, one of the things that I like to do as well when it comes to playing catch is, put the kids at different infield positions. And this is just a fun drill to do. So so I'm going to have you guys do this one. You're going to kind of do this one. You start off with a ball in your glove. Okay? So I'm going to have you guys stand up. Kind of move around here a little bit. Okay? Okay, so we're going to kind of spread this out. Let's pretend, and you're the first baseman. Okay? And you're going to be the third baseman. And you're going to be shortstop, second base, kind of. Now, what we would do is we'd be in our position, we'd have the ball in our glove. And what you're going to do is, now let's say I point and say, now you're going to throw over first. Okay? Make a play. Okay, now the ball hasn't been hit to you. You've got the ball. Okay? So, if you wanted to see some guys have fun with this, it's like, we do this drill, and there's a few other colleges that do this one as well. You might see some high school guys do it. They're diving. They're jumping up, making plays. They're making plays on the run. But this is here, they start off like this, and then they'll all of a sudden go into a play where it's like, turn and throw. throw it over to first. First baseman catches the ball. Every opportunity you have to throw and catch. So if you're going to throw the ball, I throw it to you, Ben. Ben catches it, throws it to a coach. Coach then flips the ball back to the player, and it just goes around and around and around. Okay? So I can point, throw, so it's just like, go through a play. So I want you to pretend to make a play. Then you're going to throw it over there. Okay, ready? Go. And flip it over. Okay? Flip it back. Here you go. All right, go. So you can make any play. Here we go. Oh, dial her back. Here you go. Flip it. Here we go. Go. Okay? So you're going to make a play. So every time you're making a play. Okay? So this would be the opportunity where you might want to dive. Okay? Or backhand. Or forehand. Or come up running. Okay? So you're always making a play. And then always throwing the ball around. Another activity you can do as well off of this, when you get into the infield, is one I really like, and you do this, you start off on the infield, and you spread them out. As the more skilled they are, the further you spread them out. So this one, you need one baseball. Okay, so we're going to start right here. So we're going to throw here, and I call this 1, 2, 3 across. So we're going to have you guys kind of in a square here. So you're going to throw here. Okay, go ahead. Just flip the ball. 1, flip. Okay, flip. 1, that's 1. You know, hold it. So it goes 1, 2, 3, across. Throw it across. Okay, this way. 1, throw. Here. Across. See? Okay, 1, 2, 3, cross. Okay, there you go. Hold the ball. Oh, yeah, hold it. All right, so this way, once again, you're giving them a game situation. Okay, you can turn it around other way as well. Another way you can do this one, you can just practice inside and outside turns. So this one here is you're going to throw in this direction. This one here, you're just going to turn, flip, 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 and then we're going to, and I'm going to say switch, and then you're going to switch around the other way. Okay, so there we're going to go. Just this first one we're going to do is inside turn. So inside turn is I catch, I turn, and throw. Okay, this can be done at all ages. Realize if you got T-ball, put a parent behind each child, or put a wall behind. Okay, you can do these things. Realize they're going to take longer. Okay, they're not going to be crisp. What you are going to do is you're going to have a different way you can play catch. Okay, if you can come up with as many possible ways to play catch, it's going to make it more fun for those kids. Okay, so, and just go around. Hey, keep going. This is all in the same direction. Just keep going in the same direction. Round and around we go. Okay, switch. Turn around. Okay. Switch. Okay. Switch it. Okay. Keep going around and around. So you can hold it. So you can just go back and forth, and then, you know, as you can do it another way, I can do it as well. So this one here is going to be roll toss. So you're going to roll the ball. Roll it, pick it up, toss it, roll it, toss it. So you can, okay, hold it. So you can alternate. So you can go roll, toss, and then you pick it up, okay, toss, roll. Then you can alternate it. So we're going to, you know, so when we do it with our guys, we don't go into a pattern as such. We just have them roll, and they just have to remember roll, toss. So they'll throw it at angles, they'll throw it crossways, just as long as if I catch it in the air, I got to roll it to somebody else. And this is as you get more skilled, it's faster and faster and faster. Okay, you guys can have a seat. Okay, question?
So during these drills, will you just let them throw and get their reps in, or will you actually take the time as a coach to get in there and critique if you're short arming it, or?
Yep, that's it. With the younger kids, it's more hands-on. Okay, hands-on, and with little kids especially, anyone up to 10, 11 years old, give them one thing. That's it. You're gonna have a kid who's gonna be like, you know, playing a catch, like, what the heck do we start with? It's like, so, when you do that, pick one. Okay, here you go. So when you start off, pick one, and then you're gonna teach off of that. Okay, we're gonna make one thing better for you today. Okay, and we're gonna make one thing better for you today. And one thing for you, and for you, and for you. Okay? Now realize that you could be very specific and work with every kid, and it all depends on how much time you want to spend on that. What I would recommend is try to identify one thing that's a little more general for everyone, and then go with that. Okay? But yeah, pick one thing, go with it. Few words are best. 3 words or less. Okay? Because with the young kids, you start talking to them about, okay, we're going to do this, and as soon as you say, okay, as soon as, they're gone. They have lost attention. So, hands up. Okay? So we talk about playing catch. We have very few teaches. When I talk about a teach, this is like, what is your main point in teaching? As I move your feet, elbow up. Okay? Now, if you're to go to a twins practice, you go to spring training, that's what you'll hear the twins coaches. You'll hear Guardy, elbow up, move your feet, move your feet. And he's not yelling at them, okay, move your feet, elbow up, get your elbows up, move your feet. Okay, keep your feet moving. Elbow up. You know, he's not pointing, he doesn't point out at anyone. You know, you see Joe Mauer out there, and he doesn't. But anyway, if he was out there, he wouldn't say, Joe, elbow up. He'd be like, hey, elbow up. Move your feet. He's not pulling guys aside. He's not telling what they're doing. But he keeps it very simple. And it's a great lesson we should have for working with our youth. Okay? And it's actually, I got that from him, personally. Is that 3 words. You can keep it less than 3 words, you'll have their attention. Okay? So, when playing catch, find what you want to teach. Okay? Pick on that. Make that, you know, say, hey, we're going to 2 hands. You know, kind of catch everything with 2 hands, or say, follow your throw. And just, you know, find something that's what you believe, stay with that. Okay? All right, who's ball? There you go. All right, now, as we go through, you know, it says, you know, with the younger kids, all we want to be able to get them to do is get those good repetitions. The more they can play catch. The goal I would have for you to do is to make sure those kids are going home to play catch. Okay? So the last thing is like, how on earth are you going to get them to go home and play catch? Because I know with you, you're here because you have a child who plays. Chances are excellent you're going to go home or you're going to stay out after practice and you're going to throw the ball around to your kid. But that's not what happens in every household. Right? Most kids play catch only during practice. Okay? So, what would be some things you can do to encourage your kids to play practice playing catch? Once again, let me tell you, tennis ball. Like a tennis ball. Okay? How many of you have a tennis ball? If you don't have a tennis ball, it's like, I just say, you have a tennis ball? Great. Because I will tell you, if you need tennis balls, go to any tennis club and say, do you have any tennis balls you want to get rid of? They will give you garbage bags full. Okay? I have not purchased a tennis ball in 15 years. I've got 20 buckets. Okay? I mean, I've got tons upon tons upon tons of tennis balls. Okay? And as I bring them over, you know, the reason I've got 20 right now is because our tennis coach, who just retired, and he has his own tennis club. Oh, you need some tennis balls? Yeah. 6 garbage bags. There you go. Need some tennis cans? No, I'm okay on tennis cans. We do exercise, we fill tennis cans full of sand happen to actually weigh 3 pounds. Okay, so we do a lot of shoulder exercises for our guys. And I've got 2 cases, I've got 48 sand cans in a corner of my office. I work in a training room, so I work with athletes. Okay, and they've got all these cans, and they do their exercises. So, when we get started, you know, with kids, I say, here's a tennis ball. You got a garage door? Yeah. It's like, does it have squares on the garage door? Yeah. Just try to hit every square in that garage door. Okay? See if you can do it twice, 3 times, 4 times, 5 times. Give them a number. How many times can you, and those kids, I will tell you this, I did this with my son. It's like, here you go, I want you to take the tennis ball, I want you to hit every square in the garage door 3 times today. Get home from practice, boom, 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 boom. You just start throwing the ball, hit it, and he'd miss, pick it up, hit it. Okay, you know, come in, he's taking about 15 minutes. I'm done, Dad. Okay. Now, how about if I throw the ball to you? Okay. Take the tennis ball, throw them little pop-ups. He can catch it. You know, sometimes you don't drop it, you pick it up and throw it back. That's like the more you get those kids throwing a baseball, receiving a baseball, so they can see its eyes, it's working their vision. Physically, is probably one of the best things you can do for them and their vision. Throw a projectile. Have them catch a projectile. Okay? So, when it comes to coordinating an activity, hand-eye coordination, this is the king of activities. Throw a projectile at it. It does not have to be a tennis ball. Okay? One other thing that I like, I mean, I'm a toy guy when it comes to practice. Okay? If you're to come to camps, and you know, when I talk at, I mean, I got a bag of toys. Okay? Because with the younger kids, they need new stuff. Okay? So we'll play catch with tennis balls, we'll play catch with smush balls, we'll play catch with Incrediballs, we'll play catch with softy balls, we'll play catch with beach balls, and, you know, different types of balls, basketballs, footballs. We're going to play catch. Okay? And then kids will, you know, say, we'll do things where, you know, some days it'll look like football practice. Okay, you're going to run pass patterns. You're just going to throw the ball to them. It's like, what are you working on? Outfield play. Just throwing a football to them. Oh, they won't see a ball up there. I know. But it's going to help those guys right there. Okay. All right, questions? I mean, the question I have for you is this, I mean, does this sound easy enough? Like, does this sound like something you could implement in practice? And it's like that would be the goal. It should be for the younger kids. Is that you want it to be fun, okay? It's like, because if you're showing them different things they can play catch with and different ways to play catch, they may come back, and the hope is that they're going to come to practice the next time and say, what are we going to play catch with today? Okay, you want to have fun playing catch or something? Find a hot day and play catch with water balloons. Okay? That's actually, I like, one of the things we'll do on a hot day is play soft toss with water balloons. I got that from a youth coach. I was speaking at a youth clinic, and this coach told me, hey, you know, I like to do this on a hot day. Just fill up a lot of water balloons. We play soft toss with water balloons. Like, that's an awesome idea. I'm going to steal that one. And can you play catch with them? Yeah, so play catch with water balloons. It's like, what are you going to play catch with today? And realize that when it comes to t-ball, when it comes to you know, with a little kid's ball, you know, you're going to spend time hitting. You spend time with that, you know, the hitting mechanics, but the more you can play catch, the better it's going to help those kids as they progress. And they're going to have fun. So the more fun they have, that means mom and dad are going to sign them up the next year. And then the next year, the more fun they have. But at some point, it's not going to be fun anymore. Okay? Unfortunately, a lot of times that fun ends early because you get coaches that aren't here. Okay? The coaches that aren't here are the ones that are likely to be Okay, play catch, throw. All right, we're done with that. Okay, let's go hit. Okay, we're done with that. Okay, go home. See you next week. Meanwhile, parents see you at your practice. Like, the heck, they got wiffle balls, and they've got footballs, and man, they're playing tennis balls. It's like, what do they got over there? They just got, got the whole trunk full of stuff playing catch with. You got kids come back like, what are we playing catch with today?
And
As soon as you got that.
Sorry to interrupt, another one that's fun is if you have a parent blowing bubbles, kids can smack them with wiffle ball bats. That's another one that's fun too, blowing bubbles, because that's easier to pick up.
Yeah.
When you're all done, so. Little things.
So, I mean, but those are ideas that, those are great ideas, and I don't know how often you've shared that one. But that would be great for other coaches to hear those, because you can, it's like, you have a day, it's like, man, we gotta come up with something different. Okay? Anything else? Okay, so guys, I'm gonna ask a question of you. What was something that you got out of tonight?
I actually like the match. I think that'll help my son and some others get it down there.
Okay?
Yeah, that's why I asked that. You see so many kids throw, walk a guy, walk two guys, and then they just try to shot, put it right into the glove, and it just goes away, so.
Yeah. So when you get in, we start getting into, because I geared this for the non, for really non-pitching, more just with throwing, because, starting this next hour, we'll talk pitching, exclusively pitching. And as we get into pitching stuff, now there's going to be some things that we're going to be specific on when it comes to mechanics, when it comes to directional throwing, a lot of things that kids do and making mistakes in their accuracy, and every kid wants to throw a little bit harder, and I can show you a couple really quick ways where kids can throw harder where it's not harder on their arm. Sir?
One thing that we've done in our practice, we've taken like rotten vegetables or potatoes and tomatoes and stuff like that, and we've had, he's my coach.
And does he have a name?
And
Is that your dad?
Yeah.
Okay. So that's where you say that, my dad, yeah.
He soft toss the,
Oh, be fun.
the little tomatoes.
Chuck, did he hit you?
Yeah.
Perfect.
But after like it's almost scratched
So hitting potatoes, hitting rotten food, tomatoes?
Gallagher practice.
Oh, okay. Fun. Well, that sounds like a blast. That sounds like one, see, I steal stuff from you guys. And there's stuff like, for example, the water balloons, we'll do that at our practice. On a hot day. Now granted, we finish in May, so we don't have too many hot days, but if it does get to be a hot day, yeah, we'll fill with water balloons and do soft toss with water balloons. One of my favorite hot day activities is I've got a 50-foot sheet of plastic, and we go through sliding practice. You want to see college guys have a blast with sliding practice. And they just start, put it on the infield, and they just start running, and they hit it. They're sliding 40 feet in a second. They just love it. They just have a blast with it. So those are the fun things, because that's the stuff that's what you're going to remember. As you start to remember all those fun things, that's what makes baseball fun. You can do a lot of great things. Having a Gallagher soft toss drill, Gallagher practice is awesome. Use watermelons.
Whatever I had rotten in the garden.
Oh, okay.
Fall ball, you gotta figure out a way to keep them engaged.
Sure.
And you can't, some of the things you do, you can't build a progression as well as anyone's doing other things.
Yep.
Don't remember smacking things around like rotten tomatoes.
That's good. I like that. I like that one a lot. Good. Okay. Anything else, guys?
What's a tip for fixing a sidearm throw? So you were talking before about, touch points behind, but.
For the kid who drops down, there's a couple things you can do. One, is like with the strike match. Another one that you can do too is take a tee. Okay, so you take a batting tee, and So you set it right here like this in the stem, you put it equal to the height of the shoulder. And they have to pick the ball up off the ground, and they have to throw the ball over the tee without their arm hitting the tee. And they play catch with that. And just do it over and over and over again. Now, another thing too, the thing to watch for when kids are throwing sidearm is take a look at where their head is when they throw sidearm. Okay? So if a kid is standing with their head in this position, their arm drops down like this. Now, if you hear on television or you hear pitching coaches talk about arm slots, okay, oh, this guy has a 2 o'clock arm slot, he has a 10 o'clock arm slot. What does that mean? If you are looking at a clock, which right now is 5 after 8, if you're looking at a clock, and if I was standing here and I hold up my right arm, as if my head is at 12, my hand should be at 2. Okay, for a right-hander, then say, looking at a clock, that's a clock arm slot. Okay, that's the approximate proper position to throw. Okay, 10 o'clock for the lefty. Now, when a guy drops down to 3 o'clock or 4 o'clock, it's all dependent on where their head is. Because if you watch their head, if their head goes down, okay, that's a little deceiving. Okay, because they're dropping their shoulder, so they might throw like this. But if you stand them up, they might be at 2 o'clock. Okay, so just watch where the head is. If they do drop down, then I use the T. Then another thing to do is have a you know, it's sort of the same thing, but what you have them do is you put a rope. And you just put a rope across, and you have it angled downward, but you'd have a rope starting here, and it goes across. Once again, it's at the height of the shoulder. They take the ball out of their glove, and they have to throw over that rope. So just another thing. You just want to get them something to get over. Okay. Another thing as well is when we get, you know, another thing too is you might want to take a picture of them or run video of them, because what you want to be able to see is when they have that ball, and that ball should be behind their head. You should not be able to see the ball. Okay. We'll get into this when we're doing the pitching piece. When you're throwing a ball, that ball should be hidden back here. Okay, you shouldn't see it. You might see a little bit over the top of the hat. That's about it. Okay. Now, when I turn to throw, this elbow is going to start to go down, and as soon as that elbow goes down, this elbow is going to pop up. So if this elbow goes down, this one should cause that elbow to go up. Okay. So instead of working so much on getting this guy up, see what this guy is doing here. If this arm's going here, they'll go there. Get this one down by their side. If this goes down here, it's going to be really hard to do this. So get that elbow down by their side. That should pop their elbow up and get them to throw through. So when they turn to throw, and here's the key to this. The reason you want to videotape is when they turn to here, that's when it's important to have the elbow above the height of the shoulder. They may be back here like this. Okay? But when they turn, they'll pop that elbow up. Now if they go here, and they get down to there, they're standing like that, get the tee, get a rope, okay? You know, it's like point to them, you know, getting their hand up, get that elbow down. And as they get them so they can get up there. Okay. Any other questions? Okay, were we going to have other people coming in, or is this going to be?
There's going to be another group coming in.
Okay.
I think they're open the whole way.
Okay.
Anybody here wants to stick around for the second session, feel free. I mean, you're more than welcome.
This next piece is going to be pitching. We'll do just a little bit.